Sid uses an ancient Machina gadget to locate Yuna. She is in Bevelle, in the heart of Yevon, on the palace roof. Seymour is back. He is a dead man walking among the living, and unsent. Yuna is dressed in a wedding gown. She and Seymour are about to be wed. Grandmaster Micah is conducting the ceremony. Tidus wants to fly in and rescue Yuna. Sid warns about Bevelle's defenses, but is easily convinced to fly in with the airship. The sacred beast of Bevelle, Evray, a literal dragon, guards the city. It attacks the airship. The Guardians fight and defeat it. The airship is greeted by a hail of bullets. Sid drops Yuna's Guardians on the palace roof and flies away. Tidus leads the Guardians against Bevelle's guards in the attempt to rescue Yuna. The guards are armed with Machina weapons. The attempt to get to Yuna fails. Guards hold their line. The Guardians are surrounded and held at gunpoint. Yuna begins to send Seymour. Grandmaster Micah stops her, threatening to have her Guardians killed if she sends Seymour. Micah weds Seymour and Yuna. Wedding bells ring. Guardians watch in horror as Seymour kisses Yuna. Seymour orders the Guardians killed. Yuna steps on a railing and threatens to jump off the roof unless her Guardians are released. She does jump, but summons an Aeon to catch her mid-flight. Her Guardians use the opportunity to escape. They still need to find Yuna. There is a temple in Bevelle. She is sure to have gone there to pray to the faith. There is Machina inside the temple. Machines operate lifts and doors in the heart of Yevon. They enter the cloister of trials and go through the trials without their summoner. When they reach the chamber of the faith, the sacred center of the temple allowed only to summoners, Tidus immediately tries to open the door. He doesn't care about taboos anymore. Yuna is praying inside. Tidus witnesses how the faith merges with the summoner, and the faith is a familiar sight. It is the ghostly child that has appeared to Tidus many times throughout the story since the very beginning. When they exit the chamber, soldiers are waiting for them. They are captured. Yuna is forcefully married to Seymour. She decided not to marry him, then seemingly changed her mind to get a chance to confront him. He died by her hand. Now she is made to walk the aisle as he takes her hand in marriage. Seymour, the unsent dead man, kisses Yuna as wedding bells ring. Tidus has to watch Seymour kiss Yuna. He hasn't got that far with Yuna. Not yet at least. Grandmaster Micah promises Yuna's Guardian's safety should she bend to his will. Seymour breaks this promise as the first thing he does after completing the ceremony. Yuna rejects Seymour immediately, wiping the kiss of death from her mouth and threatening to take her own life.
What's Seymour doing alive? Didn't we take care of him in Macalania?
He is dead as Jiskel was. His attachment to this world kept him from the next.
Whoa, scary.
On Spira, the dead can walk among the living. Seymour murdered his father Jiskel, who came back to warn about his son. Yuna and her Guardians killed Seymour, who is now back on Spira as an unsent. Faith are souls of the dead imprisoned in stone. They sing the hymn of the faith in temples. With the aid of the dead, summoners battle sin. The dead merge with the living. Tidus sees a faith join with Yuna in Bevelle, and this particular faith is one who's appeared to Tidus before and spoken to him.
What's that?
A faith. They join with the summoner, and together receive the Aeon. They are human souls, imprisoned in stone by ancient Yevon rites. The dead should be allowed to rest.
Auron says the dead should be allowed to rest. The mentor speaks both from himself and the faith, foreshadowing the thematic synthesis which the hero will make at the end of the story.
What's a Machina doing in the temple?
I suppose it comes in handy.
That's not what I mean! The teachings! What about the teachings?
Hey, don't look at me.
The use of Machina is against Yevon's teachings. Especially forbidden are weapons. Bevelle temple guards use Machina weapons. So far, only the Albed have used Machina weapons. They use them against sin. The guards in Bevelle use Machina against people, Yuna's guardians. Maester Kinok holds a gun himself. There are exceptions, he says. Machina is found inside Bevelle's temple. There are not just a few Machina-operated gadgets here and there. Technological apparatus fill the temple. Even lifts and doors are operated by machines.
Another Machina? Man.
So this is Yevon's true face. They betray their own teachings.
They treated us like dirt.
The Institute of Yevon reveals its true face. Thematic arguments parroted by the people say that the use of Machina is forbidden, that sin was born because man used machines to kill. Here those arguments suffer a blow from Yevon itself when the temple guards and a maester use Machina weapons against Yuna's guardians.
I am sorry, but it is for Yevon.
Aren't those weapons forbidden by Yevon?
There are exceptions.
Maester Kinok's words hold little authority when he speaks of exceptions. The temple reveals Yevon's full corruption with its sophisticated Machina systems that operate everywhere indoors. Yuna's rescue takes her guardians to the center of Yevon and all Spira. Tidus in the lead, he and the guardians make a brave approach, flying in without hesitation. Bevelle is the heart of Yevon, the religious government which upholds the false moral argument that hope for Spira's future is tied to the pilgrimage. Bevelle is the den of the beast. The court of Yevon is held here. The pack of beasts that is the four maesters preys not on anyone directly, but ensures that the spiral of death, governing all of Spira, is never ending. The inmost cave of Bevelle is the temple and its cloister of trials. Inside it is the chamber of the fate, the taboo, the inmost cave inside the inmost cave. The chamber houses the faith, a soul of a dead person imprisoned in stone, that is the ghostly child who has appeared before Tidus multiple times since the beginning of the story. It is here, in this inmost cave of the den of the beast, that the heroes are enthused by this faith. Upon return in the third act, Yuna will have her epiphany, and Tidus will start his ascension to becoming a true hero in the archetypal sense. Guarding Bevelle's airspace is Evray, a literal dragon which tests the physical prowess of those approaching the inmost cave of Yevon. When the hero is planning the brave approach, he is delivered a warning of the possible opposition.
Gramps, let's move!
Easy, kiddo. Bevelle's defenses are top-notch.
What's the matter, Gramps? You scared?
At the wedding, Yuna defies her captors by attempting to send Seymour. Grandmaster Micah delivers her a warning.
Stop! Do you not value your friends' lives?
Complications arise when Bevelle's guards prove tougher than expected and hold the line, overwhelming Yuna's guardians. The two heroes barely see each other before they are separated again when Yuna jumps off the palace roof. The heroes and their allies evade the opposition and momentarily get out of trouble, but the villain's henchmen catch up in the Cloister of Trials. Bevelle is a special world inside the special world of Spira and the Summoner's Pilgrimage, a Machina temple in the holy place. The themes of faith and technology and life and death mingle here. Death rules over life in more ways than one. Faith and technology coexist. The Chamber of the Faith is another special world inside the special world. Here Tidus witnesses the joining of faith and summoner. The faith he sees is a familiar figure of the ghostly child which he first saw in his Xanakand just before Sin attacked. Here, in this chamber, Tidus will be enthused to become a true hero when he is able to accept the sacrifice it requires.
Yuna?
Inside, maybe?
Then what are we standing here for?
Hey!
You can stuff your taboos!
The Cloister of Trials inside a temple is accessible only to summoners and their guardians. The Chamber of the Faith is a taboo on another level, only allowed for summoners to enter. Tidus, the Catalyst hero, crosses the first threshold in defying Yevon on Besaid Island when he rushes into the Cloister of Trials before becoming a guardian.
Hey, but what if something happens? What if the summoner dies?
The precepts must be obeyed.
Like I care.
Now he crosses another threshold to get to Yuna again, this time entering into the Chamber of the Faith. Kimahri, the former threshold guardian now turned ally, aids Tidus in defying this taboo. Earlier in other temples, Kimahri stood guard by the door while Yuna prayed, keeping Tidus away by force.
Just wait.
Now Kimahri helps Tidus lift the door to the chamber and enter the holy place.
You have inflicted dire injury upon Maester Seymour Guado. Conspired with the Albed and joined in their insurrection. These are traitorous and unforgivable crimes that disturb the Order of Yevon.
Yuna is on trial for inflicting dire injury on Seymour, a maester of Yevon, and for colluding with the Albed heathens. All four maesters are present at the court: Grand Maester Micah, Maester Seymour, Maester Kinnock, and Maester Kelk. Yuna accuses Seymour of murdering his father and being an unsent. Grandmaster Micah reveals himself to be an unsent too. The Maesters see nothing wrong in the leader of all peoples of Spira being a dead man walking among the living. They praise Micah for being a wise leader. Micah speaks of sin with praise and admiration. Only the power of death truly commands in Spira. Micah says sin's rebirth cannot be stopped. Yuna questions the meaning of the pilgrimage and the sacrifices of those who came before her. Micah says there is nothing futile in the death of a summoner. Even though sin always comes back, the pilgrimage gives people hope. Micah brands Yuna a traitor for questioning the truths of Yevon. Yuna and her guardians are jailed to await sentence. Auron puts the theme of life and death into words. Yuna and her guardians are sentenced to die in the sewers beneath Bevelle. Micah is afraid Yuna will escape her sentence. Seymour volunteers to make sure she doesn't get out of the maze alive. The group is separated and thrown into the Via Purifico. At the end of the maze awaits Isaro. He follows the temple's orders as law. Yuna must duel him in a battle of aeons to escape the maze. The group is reunited, but before they can escape the city, Seymour and his guards bar their way. Seymour reveals his true intentions. He has come to admire sin, death incarnate, and its power. He wants to become sin. For that, he needs Yuna's help. The group fights Seymour. He is more powerful in death than he was alive. He kills Kinnock and absorbs him and his guards into himself, transforming into a monster. Yuna and her guardians defeat Seymour and escape Bevelle.
Men die, beasts die, trees die, even continents perish. Only the power of death truly commands in Spira. Resisting its power is futile.
But what of sin? I am a summoner, my lord, like my father before me. I am on a pilgrimage to stop the death that sin brings. Are you telling me that too is futile? Grand Maester Micah, I am not alone. All the people who have opposed sin, their battles, their sacrifices, were they all in vain?
Not in vain. No matter how many summoners give their lives, sin cannot be truly defeated. The rebirth cannot be stopped. Yet the courage of those who fight gives the people hope. There is nothing futile in the life and death of a summoner.
Never futile, but never ending.
Indeed, that is the essence of Yevon.
Lord Micah.
Yevon is embodied by eternal, unchanging continuity, summoner.
No, that can't be right.
Those who question these truths, they are traitors.
Lord Micah!
All the central symbols are repeated and changed in one revelatory scene. Grand Maester Micah reveals the truth of Yevon, which concerns sin, Yevon, the summoners, and the pilgrimage.
Only the power of death truly commands in Spira. No matter how many summoners give their lives, sin cannot be truly defeated. The rebirth cannot be stopped.
The pilgrimage is to defeat sin, and summoners do it hoping that one day sin will not come back. Now Micah, the highest authority on Spira, says that the rebirth cannot be stopped. Everything else dies on Spira except sin. Sin, and only sin, is eternal. With the information comes the revelation that sin is God to Micah and to all Yevon. Micah reveres sin as much, perhaps even more, than he fears it. This God governs Spira as death incarnate that rules over life. The Institute of Yevon does not oppose this God, but worships it in a twisted way. Sin and its rebirth is at the center of their thematic arguments and the false moral argument. This god of death is slain by human sacrifice so that he can be reborn to continue the spiral of death.
Yevon is embodied by eternal, unchanging continuity, Summoner. Those who question these truths, they are traitors.
Spira is a stagnated world and society. The Institute of Yevon has upheld the same status quo for 1,000 years. Death rules over life in more ways than one. Grandmaster Micah, the leader of all Spira, is an unsent. A dead man governs the living. The use of technology is forbidden, yet Bevelle is full of Machina. The people in power don't follow their own teachings. Yuna learns the truths of Yevon in a harsh manner, and she dares to question them. For this, she is branded a traitor and sentenced to die.
Yet the courage of those who fight gives the people hope. There is nothing futile in the life and death of a summoner.
The pilgrimage is human sacrifice for hope. The pilgrimage is not to overthrow death's rule over life, but to ensure it continues. It's an integral part of Spira's status quo.
Maester Kinnock summoned us then, ordered us to deal with the traitors.
You will fight us?
The Temple's orders are law. Even if you are Lord Braska's flesh and blood, you're a traitor.
The summoners exist to go on a pilgrimage to defeat sin, and be human sacrifice to continue the spiral of death. They bring the calm that people long for, but sin always comes back. Most summoners accept Yevon's teachings as they are, without questioning thematic arguments, and without questioning the false moral argument connected to hope. Isar was saved by Heathen Albed and Yuna's guardians. Still, he returns to Bevelle to be called upon and follow the Temple's orders, even if it means using his Aeons to duel Yuna, another summoner.
All the people who have opposed sin, their battles, their sacrifices, were they all in vain?
The leader of Yevon, Grandmaster Micah, delivers a strong thematic argument. Only the power of death truly commands in Spira. An unsent, he is a dead man in command of the living. Sin, death incarnate, governs people's actions and thoughts all over the world. Yuna questions the purpose of the pilgrimage. Were the sacrifices in vain? Micah puts Yevon's false moral argument into words when he says that the life and death of a summoner is never futile. The courage of those who fight gives the people hope. It's on this hope alone that Yevon relies on. Hope keeps the battle between life and death in an equilibrium, however imbalanced. On Spira, death rules over life in more ways than one. Now the heroes know the true extent of this rule. Tidus asks a simple thematic question. Why? The mentor, Auron, cannot answer Tidus. He distills the theme of life and death into a few sentences.
Why is it everything in Spira seems to revolve around people dying?
The spiral of death.
Huh?
Summoners challenge the bringer of death, sin, and die doing so. Guardians give their lives to protect their summoner. The faith are the souls of the dead. Even the maesters of Yevon are unsent. Spira is full of death. Only sin is reborn, and then only to bring more death. It is a cycle of death, spiraling endlessly.
Yes. So you see, if all life were to end in Spira, all suffering would end. Don't you see? Do you not agree? That, Yuna, is why I need you. Come, Lady Yuna. Come with me to Zanarkand, the lost city of the dead. With death on our side, we will save Spira, and for this, I will take from you your strength, Yuna, your life, and become the next Sin. I will destroy Spira. I will save it.
Seymour reveals his true nature as the Shadow, as the villain of the story. His true antagonism becomes clear. The story goal is to stop sin. Seymour wants to become sin, to become death incarnate and liberate Spira by killing it, by destroying all life. He opposes the story goal. Seymour has become more powerful in death than he was alive. He is now a literal shapeshifter, taking into himself the dead and turning into a monster.
Unpleasant. Very well. I will give you your death. You seem to want it so.
Yuna goes through her great ordeal in the den of the beasts she previously believed to be allies in the quest to stop sin. The deepest chamber is at the heart of Yevon, and the unexpected opponent is the Institute of Yevon and its maesters. Yuna is branded a traitor and cast to perish in the Via Purifico, a fiend-infested maze no one has survived. She even has to duel a fellow summoner to make it out alive. The ordeal climaxes in another clash with the Shadow, Seymour, who's grown more powerful since their last battle. The heroes are united to fight the opponent and reap the reward for surviving the ordeal. The Shadow is the opposite of the hero. Yuna and Tirus want to overthrow Death's rule over life, to end the spiral of death. Grandmaster Micah wants to continue the spiral, to uphold the status quo. Seymour wants to end the spiral by becoming sin and ending all life on Spira. In the den of the beast that is the court of Yevon, Yuna faces more than one shadow of different shades. Seymour is the antagonist who fully opposes the story goal. His extreme goal is also against Yevon's status quo, but as a shapeshifter he has the aid of the other maesters. Micah and Seymour are both unsent. They are physical manifestations of Death's rule over life on Spira. All oppositions are made clear. Seymour reveals his true nature as the Shadow, his goal to become sin. Seymour's goal differs from anyone else's. For a shapeshifter, the title of a maester is only a role to play, and he does play the role. In truth, he is also an opponent to the opponents. The central government of Spira, the High Court of Yevon, is oozing with negative animus. The maesters of Yevon uphold the thematic arguments with an iron fist. They are ready to sentence those who question them to die. Seymour wills for ultimate power, the power to destroy, to take life. He's already killed his own father to obtain it. The heroes are cast to die in the maze below Bevelle from which no one has come back alive, but they defy the odds and cheat death. A villain, Kinnock, one of the four maesters, dies by Seymour's hand. The heroes defeat Seymour for the second time. Seymour loses the fight but is not sent, and so he escapes.
Indeed, that is the essence of Yevon.
Lord Micah.
Yevon is embodied by eternal, unchanging continuity, Summoner.
The heroes have earned their reward by surviving yet another series of close encounters with death. Yuna receives another Aeon. It is the last one she needs. there are no more temples between here and Xanakant. More importantly, the heroes learn the esoteric truth of Yevon. It's for this knowledge that they are sentenced to die, as much for questioning it as for acquiring it. Heroes need to know who their opponents are. During the ordeal, all oppositions become clear. Tirus and Yuna will return to Bevelle, to the Den of the Beast in the third act after learning the theme of the story. Learning the truth of Yevon, the false moral argument, the full extent of Yevon's thematic arguments enables the heroes to learn the lesson. Upon returning, they will be enthused and receive more vital information. One part of Act 3 solution will be offered here.
I am a summoner, my lord, like my father before me. I am on a pilgrimage to stop the death that sin brings. Are you telling me that too is futile?
No matter how many summoners give their lives, sin cannot be truly defeated. The rebirth cannot be stopped.
The story goal of Final Fantasy X is to stop sin. The midpoint of the story offers the revelation that sin cannot be truly defeated. The rebirth cannot be stopped. So say the opponents who uphold the status quo of the spiral of death. Merely defeating sin and bringing the calm is not enough to stop sin. Now the story goal is seemingly out of reach. There is no alternative plan for overthrowing death's rule over life. Hope is lost. But the heroes push on, even if ultimate victory seems unobtainable.